Hello friends, welcome to data making. Till last section, we set up the single node Spark cluster and Hadoop cluster on a Docker environment. Okay, so now we are going to go through the source code of this project. Okay, starting from the data source layers to the data visualization layer. So in this video, I'm going to focus on the Python simulator, which is used to generate the server status as a events to the Kafka topic. Let's get started. So you know how to check your Docker containers status? Okay, the running containers. So if you want to check the running containers in your Docker environment, just type a command Docker space ps. Okay, which will show you the running containers. So the Python, just to check what is the version of Python installed. So we installed the Python 3.8.5. Okay, so I'm going to use a, IDE called PyCharm. Okay, for developing this code. Okay, so you can set up this PyCharm IDE easily. If you want to have more information, you can go through my YouTube channel Data Making, which has a lot of information. Okay, so let me open this project. Okay, so I have a program called data center live data center server live status simulator. Okay, so this is going to basically generate the events. Okay, so because in our use case, basically our source is the servers which is sitting on the different servers sitting on the different data center across the globe. So we cannot simulate as of now. So basically, what we are doing is the real time one we cannot simulate. So what I'm doing is, so how it will behave. So basically, all the data center will have the some kind of utility, right? So it can be open source, it can be a commercial version of you. So sources which actually generates the logs of the server and which actually send the for analysis. Okay, so that is keeping in mind. So I'm actually created this simulator. So this simulator actually generate the events, okay, and send it to the Kafka topic. Okay, that is the messaging layer. Okay, so if you go through this code, so basically what I'm doing is initially I'm importing a package called Kafka and the class called Kafka producer. Okay, so basically this is the package used to communicate with the Kafka. Okay, from Python environment. Okay, and other standard libraries you import it. Okay, like timestamp and JSON, because we are going to use this events to send it to the Kafka as a JSON string. So we need a JSON package, and basically this random package is basically to generate random numbers and also to get a random item from the collection of items. So example, if you take, I have a server type list. Okay, so I just don't want to send always one server type. So randomly I want to take the server type. So you can use this random package, and request package is to call your REST API and get the data and do for some processing. So basically what I'm going to use is, okay, apart from this, I'm also importing a package called REST countries. So, so if basically I will actually generate random actually random countries. Okay, for that countries, for city I'm just picking the capital of city. So to if you want to know the with the help of country code, if you want to get the capital for the country, so we can use, there is a Python package called rest countries. You can use that and you can get the capital for that country, capital city for the country, as well as other information is available. Okay, so, so this is the packages we are importing. So this is my topic name. Okay, so topic is nothing but kind of placeholder. It can placeholder kind of mini buffer which will hold the data. Okay, so Kafka topic is nothing but a kind of, you can consider as a placeholder, or it is a kind of intermediate buffer to store your data. And this is my Kafka container host number. Okay, so and this is my port number for Kafka. Okay, 9092 is the default port number. So there is a URL. Okay, the rest URL. Okay, so it's nothing but if you want to generate random user, right? So there is a open source API randomuser.me. Okay, this API, if you hit it in the browser, it is going to give you the random users. Every time you hit it, it is going to give you a random user. Okay, so basically how I'm going to correlate this is, so we want to generate a random events. Okay, but how do you generate it? So basically, so we want to I will tell you the what are the fields which we are going to generate for the events. So one of the fields is country and city. So basically this is server status, right? So which, from which country, which city the server status is coming. Okay, that's what you want to build it. Okay, so for that, instead of just hard coding the countries, what I'm doing is I'm actually going to hit this API every 1 second. Okay, I'll get the random user, right? What is the this user's country? Basically, where this person is living, that country. Okay, I'm going to pick that country and I'm going to find the capital city of that country. Okay, to build my random number. Okay, so that's how I'm going to build it. Okay, so this is going to get the information for the country, to generate a random country I'm picking. So you can actually use this API for other purpose also, but I am using only for taking the country name, and with that country name I'm going to fetch a city name and build the other information for the simulator. Okay, so this is a one important API. Okay, so that's the purpose of this API. So basically, this is a Python program. So if people are who are new to this Python, they are know what is this line of code. Okay, so basically, when you run this program as a from the command line, so it is going to check what is the package name. So okay, package name for this program or module name for this program. So by default, when you run from command line, this package will be underscore name will be underscore underscore main. Why this is needed is, see, when you create a Python modules, okay, so you can actually have a set of code which will be executed only if you calling as a module, or call a kind of method or module calling from other modules. But when you want to execute from the terminal, you want to execute some set of syntax and logic that you can put it on this this main section. Okay, so this code will be executed only whenever you run this program from the command line. Okay, so if you calling this module from other program or module import and call, then it will not this will not get executed. Okay, that's the purpose of this line. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I am going to create a producer. Okay, so as I mentioned, Kafka is a distributed publish subscribe messaging system. So there will be a publisher who publish message to the Kafka topic. So as a simulator, right? So basically, what we are considering different servers sitting across the globe in data centers going to publish the data, is the server status to this Kafka topic. So those are the publishers. Okay, so we need to, so this program is going to run on every server which is sitting on the data center that you can consider like that. Okay, so we need to create a producer object, so which is available in the producer Kafka package. So what you need to create, you need to pass, so basically you need to pass a bootstrap server, which is nothing but a Kafka broker IP address and a port number. And also what is the serializer you are going to use it. So basically I'm going to use the JSON string serializer. Basically it will actually take your JSON object and convert as a string and do the encoding and send it to the Kafka topic. So for that purpose, we are creating a producer object. Okay, now we are going to build this our event. Okay, so the event is going to contain. I will show you the schema. Okay, so that it will be more clear. So I'm going to generate server status. So basically, server status, how I'm going to show to you is, basically server status in a different color codes like red, green, yellow. Okay, so or you can, sorry, red, green, orange. Okay, so if it is red, then the severity. So the status of the server is critical. Okay, so severity 1. Okay, if it is orange, severity 2. If it is a green, severity 3, so it's no need to worry about it. So we need to worry about the server status, which is coming as red and orange. Okay, so that we are going to generate it, and basically the timestamp, okay, the event timestamp, and the server type, whether it is going to be a application server or a client server, or it is going to be a collaboration server, FTP server. There are a lot of servers there, proxy server, telnet server, mail server. There are web server, a lot of servers. So we are going to randomly generate that. Okay, and then what we are going to do is I'll just explain you the first the structure of the message, and then we are going to generate the country code, which will be like 2-digit code, alpha 2, they call it as alpha 2, and the country name, okay, and the city name, and the resolution time. So basically, I'm just giving estimated issue resolution time. So basically, whenever this message come, so basically they will have kind of initial what to say. So how much time this particular, if it is a issue, how much time it is going to uh, what is the, how much time it is going to resolve that issue, those kind of number it is going to, it's going to be an integer number. So why I'm having this number is, which will be used for predictive analytics. In this small in this project we are going to not do that, but as a future improvement we can use this property. Okay, so basically so if particular issue is coming, so what is the estimated time for the resolution for this issue? Okay, and we are going to contain we are not going to contain the information as of now for these properties, like status, other information, okay, other parameters 1 2 3 4 5, and server configuration. So those are the things I'm not going to pass it, but I'm going to pass this field so that it will be consider this schema for the future development. Okay, so now, so first thing is what we are going to do is I'm going to run this in while loop. Okay, just for testing purpose, I'm just going to send a 10 message. Okay, so first thing is what we are calling. We are calling this random API, random user API, using the request package. Once you get the request response data, I'm interested on this field nationality, which is nothing but a country alpha code, 2-digit code. Okay, take that, and we are going to call this. Once you take that, and I have it in this variable called event country code. Okay, so once you have this country code, so I'm going to call this I told you the REST country API, which is going to give me the capital city of the country. You pass this 2-digit country code alpha and call this method, you get a country object. So country object has many information like name of the country and capital city of that country and other informations. Okay, so we are going to in this we are going to take these two properties, the name of the country, we are passing 2-digit country code and getting the full name of the country, and then excuse me, and then take the capital city and have the city name. Now we are going to construct that message. So I'm actually, to construct this JSON message, we are going to create a dictionary, and then I'm just current time I'm actually giving, taking for the system time for the event date time. Okay, and so as I told you, the color code, right? So color code, what I'm doing is I'm actually having it as like this. So basically, color code associated with the severity level. Okay, so if it is a red, it is going to be a severity 1. If it is orange, severity 2, and green, severity 3. So, so like this, I'm going to send it. So if you want to pick the random out of these three, so I'm using the random function. So random choice of, if you pass the list, it will give you one particular item. So I set it as server type, and similarly for server status color code. Okay, and then city code, sorry, country code, country name, city name also we got it, and the resolution time again I'm going to generate this integer number. Okay, and these fields I'm right now I'm putting empty. So in future we'll use it for other some values, we'll inject other values, and then so once the message is ready, so we are going to use this Kafka producer object and dot send method to send our message. So what you need to pass, you need to pass a topic name and the message. Okay, so it is going to convert the dictionary object into string message and publish to the Kafka topic. Okay, so let's run this code and check it. So and then this is I'm putting in the try catch box, and once this is done I'm going to generate for every 1 second. Okay, every 1 second I'm going to publish this data, and then putting sleep for 1 second. So this time dot sleep will halt this program for 1 second and generate other messages. Okay, so okay, let's run. So let's check our again one more time our Kafka container is running. So the Kafka container is running. The container name is data making underscore Kafka. Okay, it is listening on the port number 9092. Okay, so let's run this program. So it is going to generate you have 10 messages. Yeah, let's generate 10 message to check whether it is publishing correctly. So we can run this consumer program. Okay, so in our case Spark streaming application is going to be a consumer program, but just to verify that we are actually just running this consumer program, whether it is working or not. Okay, so it is published messages. Yeah, so all these messages got consumed here. Okay, so now we are able to successfully, because the older message also it is getting consumed, so that's why we got a lot of messages. Okay, so I will also explain you the Kafka consumer just for understanding purpose. Anyway, we are not going to use the consumer, just for testing purpose, because our consumer is a Spark structure streaming program, which is a streaming data pipeline, which is going to do the lot of transformation after consuming this data. Okay, so consumer is again it's going to be a simple program, so which you need to actually import the consumer Kafka consumer class from the Kafka package, and you have a consumer group and then Kafka topic and Bootstrap server. Similarly, you have this main method to just main package name, package of the or module names, check, and then you execute piece of code. So basically here consumer object we need to create. It is a Kafka producer which is going to publish the data of the Kafka topic. So if it is a consumer which is going to consume the data from topic. So we are going to create a consumer object, and then you need to pass the topic name, Bootstrap server, and whether you want to get the offset nothing but a message ID. You are going to get the latest messages or earliest messages, and consumer group. Basically, a set of consumer can actually form a group that's called a consumer group. And the serializer, we are using string serializer. So basically, it is going to get the string data. So what I'm doing is I'm actually converting into JSON format, which is going to give you JSON object is nothing but a dictionary object here. So that's what you are using this value serializer. Just passing that, decoding the string value and converting into JSON object, which is nothing but a dictionary. And then when you iterate this consumer object, so whatever message is available in this topic, which is going to get it, and we are going to iterate it. So if you're like for a message in consumer, it is going to get all the messages from the consumer one by one and display it here. That's what we are doing it here. So I hope this program is understandable. Okay, so basically, so in part of our project development, so we saw this Python simulator, which is going to generate the server events to the Kafka topic. Okay, so I hope this video is helpful for you. Let's get started with the next video. Thank you so much, friends.